You sailors wish to be rich or dead.
Stand fast, gents.
Is that you, Mr. Lee?
Quartermaster now.
I always knew you would do well.
Always knew you were wicked.
These red asses know what they signed up for.
Hi, Frank. I'm Chris from Get Your Comic Con. It's a pleasure to be speaking to you today. How are you doing?
Oh, good, man. God bless. It's good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you too. God bless indeed. Now, first question I want to ask is, I love a badass woman, kick-ass action, and pirates most of all. When watching this film, it seemed like Priyanka was born for the role, and I was wondering while writing if you had her in mind for the character, or if she is someone that you just saw during auditions and thought, yeah, she's perfect for this.
Well, it's interesting, in the concept phase, I never write with actors in mind so much. I try and be true to the character. I mean, of course, you sit down and you might dream of this person, that person. But for me and my writing partner, we obviously also try and just be like, okay, who is this character, right? So you don't get too bogged down in the personality of, an actor. What's really great about when the movie that you see is that, once we found Priyanka Chopra Jonas, who is just, as you said, just a force and a beast, and not only like a badass mom, but a producer and an actress, and like all the things, she actually helped to mold and shape that character into what you see on screen today. So we would go and we sit with her and we would talk about, I don't know what it's like as a woman to have a child, right? Like I can empathize. I have a kid. I had a strong mother. I grew up in the Caribbean around strong women, but she had a whole other layer of complexity and nuance of what it would have been like to grow up on, on a ship surrounded by men, and all the things that made Ursel and Bloody Mary who she is. Priyanka brought a lot of that magic to the role once she came on board. So I wish I could take credit, but honestly, it was a true collaboration.
And I wanted to ask, what were some inspirations for making this film, The Bluff, or maybe like your top three pirate stories? Because me personally, I don't really have a top three, but I have one of my favorite pieces of media of all time, which is the Japanese manga One Piece, which I think is one of the greatest pirate adventures that anyone can go on. So I was just wondering what inspirations you had for this movie.
Man, there's kind of an obscure movie called A Light at the End of the World, and it's this 1970s film. That it was, oh goodness gracious, I want to say it's Charlton Heston. He's running around. Yul Brynner's in it, that's for sure. And it's this very visceral, hardcore pirate film where the gentleman is, he's on this little small island. He's a lighthouse keeper, and these pirates invade. And it goes off the rails. It was in that 70s kind of moment where film was really raw and brutal. And so that was definitely inspiration as we started to get into the production phase. But honestly, the idea for this, my writing partner Joe called me. We had this bad idea of the week club, we call it. He said, yo, I got a bad idea for you. He's like, Straw Dogs with pirates. And Straw Dogs from the 70s, again, one of my favorite films. That essence of, I know it's a little controversial, but that essence of like home invasion and defending something and having to fight for your place, right? That was something that we infused with my love of pirates. I'm from the Caribbean, so we had Pirates Week in Cayman Islands, that every year the pirates would invade and people would dress up. People didn't dress up for Halloween. We dressed up for Pirates Week. And I would sit, on my daddy's shoulders, and we'd watch the boats come in, and it was scary and it was visceral and it was fun. And that's a lot of what we tried to capture in this movie, was that experience that I had as a child, and really telling it again from the perspective of the people on the island, as opposed to being out in the water and swashbuckling on the seas with the boats.
Smoke in the wind. You're the last man I expected to call the cavalry.
Let him come. They'll find an island harboring a wanted criminal. And a valiant crew that died, bringing her to justice. Stings, eh?
you obviously mentioned being from the Caribbean, and obviously a lot of these pirate stories take place in the Caribbean. And I was wondering why, for you, you think these stories are it's so important for them to be so diverse. I'd say this movie is extremely diverse and it's beautiful to see. And a lot of pirate stories are diverse. Why do you think it's important to keep that diversity for when telling a pirate story?
Well, I gotta be honest, diversity in pirate story is just authenticity, because what you had on a pirate ship was the best killers from all over the world, right? So they would get people from all continents and nations, and to survive, especially at this time, we set this about 200 years after the golden age of piracy. So we're towards the end of it. So only the most badass, ruthless guys are surviving. They're looking for a way out, right? And so what we did, I went to the Russos and I said, yo, I want to reimagine pirates like a strike force, like of international killers. And that's really what they were, if you break it down. So to be able to again, our islands were so diverse. Our people came from all over the world. They would get shipwrecked there, they would escape there. And so for us, it was just in the DNA of just being real and being authentic to the time and to the world that we're creating.
Honestly, thank you so much, Frank, for your time. I can't wait for everyone to get to see The Bluff when it comes out. I'm going to recommend it to my fellow pirate lovers that I know and also just fans of One Piece. I agree with everything that you said regarding authenticity when it comes to the diversity on these pirate stories. And it's a pleasure getting to speak to you today and hearing your thoughts on everything regarding pirates and also The Bluff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother, and God bless. Take care of your people and let them know. The Bluff, February
Of
25th,
course,
Amazon Prime. We're
February 25th,
excited.
I'll let them know. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. All right. Blessings.